throughout our league, right? It's going to be a big year for SEC basketball. We've got a good team. We're going to be fun to watch. I'm excited to see a bunch of students in the Steg tomorrow, and a bunch of our other fans that are eager to see this team. Obviously, you hope you play well offensively and defensively, but as much as anything, I'd like to see our culture in the right place. I'd like to see our guys connected after evaluating huddles and pregame and halftime and how we operate on the bench and during timeouts and all those things. We'd like to get off to a good start in those areas.
When you say the team is going to be fun to watch,
Yeah.
specifically, what do you mean by that?
I think we'll turn people over more and block more shots and get out and transition more. We're a pretty athletic team. We better on the offensive glass. We've got good size, from 6'4" to a couple 6'11s. We're a big athletic team, and so we'll be competitive in the SEC.
You talked last week about the value of the extended time off after that first outing. Just what have you seen from your team this past week as they've taken in everything that happened against Charlotte and tried to move forward from it?
A couple really good ones after Charlotte, and then we had one where our guys showed a little bit of I'm ready to play somebody else. Pretty sharp yesterday, got to be sharp today. That's why you play these. You simulate a real game prep, and we do 2-day game preps. And so today's important. Yesterday was pretty solid. Continue to get better. Most of this is about us, especially in an exhibition. Some of it will be the opponent. A little bit more today than yesterday, but we've got a ton to continue to focus upon with us, with our guys, with our roster, with our schemes and the way we're defending.
Looking at UCF, well, like they had a good first exhibition, but what do you kind of see in this?
Really disruptive team and program is really what Johnny's done since he's been there and forever. Good staff, good coach. They're going to be competitive in their league and another really good league amongst the nation's leaders last year in overall disruption defensively with blocking shots and turning you over. And they'll switch up some defensive ball screen coverages and they did a good job, with recruiting. They've got a really talented team too.
Early in the season, when you don't have a huge body of work to, study film on, how do you go about preparing, whether it's the opener against Tennessee Tech or this exhibition against UCF?
You do a little bit of guessing. You do a little bit based on, studying the team in the previous year and even a couple of years, just going back. As a staff, collectively, you come up with a pretty good idea of what you think you're going to see. But again, it's just as much, it's as important as anything we do with regard to defending and scoring against UCF, or trying to score rather, is how we execute what we're trying to do regardless of who the opponent is, offensively and defensively. If our guards in transition are supposed to sprint to the corner, it doesn't matter that the opposition is UCF or whoever, we need to sprint to the corner. We need to block out, we need to contest, we need to set real screens, wait on screens, all those things that we work on daily. And now there's people in the stands, we have family in the stands, we have students in the stands. Can we retain that focus level and have carryover from the practice gym to this day?
Tomorrow's Ace's first time in front of those home fans. What do you want to see out of him tomorrow?
The same exact thing we see in practice, really, and that's the challenge for all of these guys, especially the younger ones. We want to see the same version, right? The way we practice today should be the way we play against UCF, should be the way we play against Georgia Tech, and so on and so forth. And it's a process. We talk about that a lot, right? And so with him, it's just his approach, his mentality, not his numbers necessarily. He'll play well, but I want to see him play like he does between the lines on the practice floor, which is hard. Makes winning plays. He's a detailed guy. He's an unselfish guy. Plays with a lot of intensity and just plays really hard. I expect to see that. I'll be surprised if I don't.
Do you expect to go as deep down your bench this season as you did last year?
I do, yeah. I think that we've got parity like we did last year, and I think we're just as deep. Yeah, I do.
Thank you for letting us into practice last week, by the way. And one of the things I noticed was, in fact, I even asked Mobley about it. I said, there's a lot of chatter, a lot of communicating.
Yeah.
It's kind of a loud, energetic practice.
Yeah.
Just obviously by design. So what's the goal there, to just help with communication and constantly be talking to each other?
Yeah, you can't talk enough.
Yeah.
period, especially defensively. We like our practices to be up tempo. We like our guys to take ownership over communicating and holding each other accountable. In that category, we challenge it to a certain extent. With this team, we haven't needed to challenge it quite as much. These guys really like to compete. We've got a pretty vocal team. We've got some quiet guys off the court, but when we're between those lines, we've got to talk. We've got to be loud and early and consistent with our communication.